There are several reasons why fewer people are getting married these days, and the trend varies by country, culture, and socioeconomic factors. Here are some of the key reasons. Changing attitudes toward marriage, social acceptance of alternative lifestyles. People are increasingly viewing marriage as just one of many valid ways to live. Cohabitation, long-term partnerships, or simply staying single are seen as acceptable options. Less pressure to marry. In the past, societal and family pressures often pushed people toward marriage. Today, there's less stigma attached to being single or not marrying, particularly in more urbanized or progressive societies. Financial concerns, cost of weddings. The expense of weddings can be a deterrent. In many places, weddings are expensive, and some people may feel it's not financially feasible or necessary to spend large sums on a ceremony. Economic instability. With rising housing costs, student debt, and job insecurity, young people may feel they can't afford to get married. The financial strain of supporting a family can also discourage marriage, particularly for those in precarious financial situations. Economic independence of women. With more women entering and excelling in the workforce, many people, especially women, feel less dependent on marriage for financial stability or social status. Changing gender roles and expectations. Traditional gender roles within marriage have evolved. Women are no longer expected to stay at home, and men are less likely to take on the sole role of breadwinner. As a result, marriage may feel less relevant or desirable as both partners have greater freedom to define their roles in relationships. Focus on career and personal development. People, particularly in their 20s and 30s, are often prioritizing career development, education, and personal goals. With the rise of a self-actualization culture, many view marriage as something that can come later or as a distraction from their personal or professional ambitions. Fear of divorce or negative experiences. Divorce rates in many countries have historically been high, which has led to a fear of the emotional and financial costs of divorce. Some people prefer to avoid the commitment altogether, especially if they've seen family members or friends go through difficult divorces. In addition, people may have concerns about entering into a traditional marriage because they associate it with personal loss of freedom or autonomy. Delaying marriage for personal reasons. Many people are waiting longer to marry in order to find a compatible partner, or simply because they haven't found the right person yet. For some, marriage is seen as just one stage in life. They may prioritize experiences like travel, pursuing hobbies, or personal growth over settling down. Many couples choose to live together without marrying, often because they see no need for formal legal recognition of their relationship. For some, living together is a trial phase before marriage, but for others, it becomes a long-term alternative. More people are choosing to have children outside of marriage, either because they don't want to marry or because marriage is seen as unnecessary for raising children. In some regions, secularization is on the rise, and marriage is no longer seen as a religious or culturally mandated rite of passage. In others, changing religious views may influence the traditional view of marriage. There's also a growing trend where people define their own terms for commitment and relationships, often outside of traditional or religious frameworks. For some, the concept of lifelong monogamy or commitment has evolved, and they may prefer non-traditional forms of partnerships such as open relationships, polyamory, or other arrangements. Legal recognition of same-sex marriage and other forms of partnerships has expanded, but some still hesitate to marry due to the complexity or perceived limitations of legal structures, particularly when it comes to issues like property rights, taxes, and inheritance laws. In short, marriage is no longer seen as a must-do milestone for many people, and various social, economic, and cultural shifts have created an environment where people feel more comfortable delaying, forgoing, or reimagining marriage entirely. Instead of the traditional model, modern relationships are more flexible and diverse, often reflecting the changing views and needs of individuals.